Day 47 of being sober from the weed. Saturday. Hope everybody's having a wonderful start to their day. And I just want to get on here and say that comparison is the thief of joy. If you're happy in life, do not allow social media or any sort of comparison, even outside in the real life, because too many people live in social media and not in real life. Do not allow comparison of what other people have, whether it's a relationship, kids, or a family, money, fame, whatever it is, materialistic stuff especially, a bigger house, a nicer car. Do not allow yourself to fall into the trap, as I 100% have. I'm speaking to myself and I'm still in this, working towards getting out of this. That's why I meditate for an hour a day, whether I'm reading the Bible or just spending an hour doing nothing inside my head, finding myself. It is going to absolutely destroy your entire life, because even when you have the opportunity to be happy, you're going to find a reason based on somebody else's life that you will never live on why you're not happy or why you can't be happy. And secondly, before I continue into this, if you're not happy in life, you need to tackle that internally, and you need to ask yourself if you're truly unhappy or miserable in this life because you're constantly comparing yourself to what other people may or may not have, or the situations that, there are people that have all the money in the world because they spent so much time caring about the wrong things, thinking that money is everything. And then they compare their lives to people that have simple lives that just work a regular 9 to 5 or whatever the case is. And they actually would rather go back to that type of life. There are people in every situation that wish and strive for every type of situation. So ultimately, it is so important to learn that God gave you the cards that you were dealt. We have all heard that saying, play the cards that you were dealt. You don't get the opportunity or chance to jump into somebody else's life. It's not possible. It's physically impossible. You have one life, and before you know it, it'll be gone in the blink of an eye. You have to take advantage of the time that you were given, the cards that you were dealt, the life that you were blessed with. I don't know the exact odds, but I'm pretty sure it's like 4 billion or 4 trillion to 1 that you're even born. The fact that you're breathing and watching this is a blessing, is something to be happy about, because there are people, as I've said in other videos, that did not wake up today. So even if you're sad, depressed, miserable, you're still alive. And that's worth something. That matters. You are special, you are important, and you have a purpose. But so many people, especially in this day and age of social media, do not allow themselves to find their purpose and to truly be happy in their life that they were given, because they are constantly spending the time that they were given viewing other people's lives as the grass is greener, and if only I had this, and if only I had that, and if I were in their shoes, or if they had my problems, blah, 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 is what that shit is. Whether you're a girl or a guy, pull up your fucking britches and get to fucking work. The busier you are doing something that is moving you towards what you dream about, not just being busy, like, oh, I gotta check emails and fucking blah, blah, like just doing useless shit. But when you're actually spending your time working on something that is pushing you in the right direction, your life is ultimately going to change for the better. Hey, Corey. Even that's a great explanation. Not many people, I've been single for so long, or was single for so long. It's funny that it's even funny to say that now, not to switch subjects, but we moved into this house a few years ago. I met my neighbor. For the longest time, I was doing stuff that was not beneficial to the progress that I was making. And I was constantly looking for excuses, judging, finding other reasons to compare my life to others. And through that comparison, I was never able to find happiness or joy with what I was doing. And it's just recently that that was my mother, by the way. It's just recently that I've been trying to find myself, and I've known Corey for over a year. And it turns out that, we've, been romantically involved, and she's my neighbor. And then eventually now, we are dating. And so it took so long for me to kill my ego, because I was always judging myself, like, oh, if only I had this and if only I had that, and I don't deserve to have a girl, and I don't deserve to be happy, and I'm not ready because I'm not this and I'm not that yet. And it's ultimately like, how do you know that when you get to that next stage, or you get that item that you think is going to make you happy, or you are able to start living how someone you're comparing yourself is living, how do you know that's going to actually make you happy and that life's going to be all peaches and cream when you fucking get there? And so I was putting this shield up for so long to where I didn't want to have a girlfriend or allow her to allow me to get close in that way, even though I felt it in my bones that like she does make me happy and I want to be happy with her. And there's no reason that I need to keep trying to look for something else or make excuses on why I'm not good enough, instead of just taking a chance now and seeing where that will ultimately get me. And it's only been a few days, but again, I've known her for well over a year. It's like we pretty much have been dating for a year without dating. And so even that has made me so much happier. But back on track to staying busy with things that actually matter is like, I'm growing my businesses, eBay and Amazon. I could spend tons of time making excuses, getting cocky and arrogant again, being complacent, and end right back up in a 9-to-5 or whatever the case is. And maybe that's for you, but it's not for me. And then be even more miserable because I fumbled even more of an opportunity that I have already somewhat fumbled and am getting back on track. But ultimately, when you are busy with something that is pushing you forward, when you're busy chasing and finding your purpose, whether you know your purpose or not, the journey of figuring out your purpose and what truly drives you is going to keep you busy in the right direction, in a positive direction. Even when some days you might feel bad, you might feel miserable, you might feel depressed, like I have on these videos, because I'm very open and honest and I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit, that you're always gonna have hard days, and you're always gonna have good days. You're always gonna have bad days, and you're always gonna have great days. Life moves on. Time continues to tick, even when we are dead and gone. And if you do not take advantage of the life that you have now, I promise you, you're going to end up being even more miserable when you get to those final days of your life, when you realize you wasted 20, 30, 50 years, 70 years of your life comparing yourself to other people that maybe you never even met. You don't know what other people are going through. Do you know how many people that are born into fame, that are born into into fame, into Hollywood, into moving? Like, look at all the child actors that one either disappear later in their later ages, or God forbid something even more tragic happens because of this constant pressure and comparison of who they should be and who they want to be versus who they were born into, and not being able to be okay and learn to live with the current, live in the present, and be happy with who they are and the opportunities they have. And so many people, whether you're born into poverty or born into the riches, end up comparing themselves as, oh, life would just be better if this. There are famous people that were born into fame, that life would just be so much better if I wasn't famous and if I didn't have this money and didn't have this judgment. That's what God gave you. That's the blessing you were blessed with. So learn to take advantage of it and be grateful for it. If you were born into poverty, maybe that's your sign that it's up to you to build longevity and to build financial success and wealth in your life. And that journey is going to strengthen you and make you different than anybody else, because only you can live your life. And when you choose to cover up these problems and comparisons like I have, or did, because today is day 47, with using drugs and alcohol or porn or gambling or scrolling, whatever your addiction is. For me, it was weed. I've done other drugs in my life. I can still drink alcohol occasionally. I hate getting drunk. It's not something I enjoy. So I've never had a problem with any other drug except for weed. And the only reason that I even got addicted to it is because I know that alcoholism can obviously kill you. Other drugs can kill you. But because in my mind, weed can't kill me because it's weed and nobody has ever died from weed, so it must be okay. Because, even though I am just now a believer in God, people will say, or building my relationship with God, I've always known there was a higher power. But building my relationship with Jesus Christ and God and being open and vulnerable to it, people will say, but God made weed. Yeah, God made poison ivy too. Do you smoke it? God made tons of stuff. It doesn't mean it's all good for you or used for the purpose of ingestion, And so ultimately, when you use drugs, no matter what it is, if you want to sit here and say weed's not addictive, you're fucking wrong. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about if you think weed is not addictive. Maybe it's not physically addictive where you're gonna have withdrawals, but you're definitely gonna go mentally insane if you've been smoking for 14 years like I had, and then you try quitting and say, I can quit anytime, I just choose not to. Yeah, that's a fucking lie. Because it is holding you back. It is preventing you from being the person you should become. And it is also ultimately covering up your emotions and your feelings and everything you're going through, the demons in your head, and preventing you from facing them head on, because every time you start to compare yourself and you start to judge yourself based on other people's lives that, once again, you will never live, you end up covering it up with some type of addiction, some type of substance that covers up everything, some type of mind release, whether it's scrolling and gambling, something that maybe it doesn't get you high, but it's something that prevents you, again, from being who you need to be. The only thing that you should be addicted to is, in healthy ways too, is exercise and breathing air, like, goodness gracious, and following God. Those are the only things you should be addicted to, is your health, your body, and surviving. And so, and in comparison, because there are people that overdo health. There are people, big bodybuilders especially, that they die at a young age because all they care about is being as big as they possibly can, which they don't realize the health effects that it actually puts on your body that you never would have had. And there are so many people, like bodybuilders especially, when it comes to health, they have the highest death rate in a younger age. It's like so many people die from doing that, and it's not a good way to live. But ultimately, without getting off track, is comparison is what's preventing you from being happy in life. Comparison is what's preventing you from finding your purpose. Comparison is what's preventing you from truly finding the reasons that make you happy, facing your demons head on, figuring out your true internal issues, and allowing yourself to be free, killing the ego to an extent, letting go of so many things that you're holding on to, and just allowing yourself to be present in the current moment and live life. Okay? God gave you the cards you were dealt with. Learn to fucking play them. These addictions, this comparison, it's all preventing you from playing the cards that you were dealt, because you're trying to find other cards within these other actions of comparison or of addiction. You're trying to find something that is not meant for you. You are meant for the life that you have, and it is your duty to take advantage of it right now, in the present, and start working on, or continue working on, becoming the person you're meant to become inside, because we all have that image of who you want to become. But a lot of that is clouded by addiction and comparison, because you allow those things to shape and morph the person you're actually supposed to become, and you actually become something completely different. You become a lesser version of yourself, and you find less happiness, less love, less kindness with yourself, less grace, less action within yourself to even want to become that person. And so I'm telling you, comparison will destroy your life. Comparison of others is the thief of joy. And if you live your entire life comparing yourself to others, and especially using some sort of addiction to cover up those comparisons of judgment and feelings inside because you're too insecure to face them head on, you're going to continue and hate your life by the end of it all. And maybe that's for you. I lived that life for quite a while, and I am tired and done and over it because I only want to become the absolute best version of myself that I can become. And guess what? Life's not fucking easy. That takes hard work. That takes discipline, that takes commitment, and it's gonna be hard to have discipline, commitment, and execution on daily actions that make you become the person you're supposed to become in God's eyes if you're comparing yourself to every other person that has what you don't have, and you're not grateful for what you have in the current moment. Stop the comparison. Play the cards you were dealt, and learn to love your life. And I'm not saying it's an easy journey. I'm only 47 days into this, but I promise you, day by day, brick by brick, it gets better. So I hope you all have a wonderful freaking Saturday. God bless. You are meant for more, and you will become the best version of yourself so long as you put in the work today and continue to put in the work every single day. And you don't live in the past and judge yourself on your past mistakes, and you learn from failures, and you don't live in the future and always daydream and wish you were somebody else, but you take action right fucking now on the day, on the present, and stop the comparison. And you are going to realize all of the blessings you have, and you will slowly, day by day, brick by brick, learn to love yourself and be grateful for the life that you have, and you wouldn't trade it for a goddamn thing. For a gosh dang thing. Sorry for saying that. God bless you. You are amazing, you are special, and you are meant for more. Comparison is the thief of joy, and comparison will make you hate your life. So cut it out and get to work. Love you. See you tomorrow.